Hello my friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today is part 2 in my series of movies that need a Blu-ray release. And if you didn't see the first one that I did it I think 3 months ago or so. I'm going to link it up here and you can check that out and you'll see what titles we talked about in that video. But the ones that I have for you today, the first 5 that I'm going to talk about, these are your choices. These are viewer picks. So it's based on the comments on the video, Instagram comments, Instagram messages, Twitter, Facebook, things like that. So I compiled everything and I made a list of your favorite picks for movies that you would like to see get a Blu-ray release. And then I have 5 or 6 that I'm going to share of my own. And of course, as always, leave your comments down below of movies that you would like to see get a Blu-ray release. And we'll keep this series going because you seem to enjoy it. Now, a few Blu-ray announcements that I do have is I got an email from Paramount this morning that on June 1st of this year, for the 40th anniversary of the film, Mommy Dearest will be going to the Paramount Presents line for the first time on Blu-ray. So really excited about that, and it looks like it's going to be a really nice addition. So I can't wait to get my hands on that one. I shared it on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, check it out because I share a lot of press release announcements over there for upcoming releases. Another one that's coming out tomorrow, March 30th, it'll be available, is Girl Interrupted for the first time on Blu-ray. So check around to see wherever you do your shopping for your Blu-rays. You can get that on Blu-ray. And I think, now, I just picked up Driving Miss Daisy in this last recent Warner Archives sale. So Warner Archives released Driving Miss Daisy. I feel like there may have been a Digibook Blu-ray release for it in the past. I could be wrong. Let me know. But I think this is the first time it was released on Blu-ray. And again, I could be wrong, but if you're interested in Driving Miss Daisy, it is available now, so you can pick that up. And that is the news that I have for you today. So we're going to talk 4K news in the next video, but today's all about Blu-rays. Now, I'm going to get into the first 5, and remember, these are viewer choice, viewer picks. So the first one that you guys picked, I don't actually have my physical copy because I loaned it to my parents, and they haven't given it back yet. So we're just going to talk about it, and that is The Abyss. I think every comment on every feed that I had, everybody said The Abyss, because I talked about True Lies in the first video. But yeah, everybody wants The Abyss, and I agree. The Abyss is so deserving and so needy of a Blu-ray release. And there's so many rumors floating around about both, and, you know, people say James Cameron is the holdup, people say the studio is the holdup, people say the transfer is done, it just needs his approval. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that everybody seems to agree that True Lies and The Abyss both need and deserve a Blu-ray release, or even 4K. So yeah, I have to agree with that. So that is our first pick for today. Now, the second one that you guys picked, and this is not in any particular order, the second one that I have here stars Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer, and it is called The Ghost and the Darkness. And this is a really good movie. I've enjoyed this for a long time. I haven't seen it in a while, but I always remember it being really good. It takes place in 1896 in East Africa, and they are building a railroad, and what's going on is the village around the railroad, at night, the people are being attacked and killed by these lions that are coming out, and the lions only come out at night. So they bring in people to hunt them, and there's more to the story that I don't want to get into because I don't want to do any spoilers. But if you haven't seen The Ghost in the Darkness, definitely check it out. It's a good movie, and really, I agree, it's deserving of a Blu-ray release. So that was one of your other picks. And then this one, I mean, if it wasn't The Abyss, it was this one. Everybody wants this one. And again, I agree. It's a Michael Mann film called The Keep. And this is a really nice, it's a really nice DVD edition, but come on, we need the Blu-ray. And basically what this is they sum it up by saying it's a one-of-a-kind gothic thriller. The Keep combines elements of horror, romance, and the supernatural in a World War II setting. Now, it's been a little bit since I've seen this, but I do remember liking it, and now that I have it off the shelf, I'm definitely going to give it another watch. But yeah, I do remember this one needing a Blu-ray release, and it's definitely deserving of a Blu-ray, or who knows, even a 4K. But yeah, The Keep is another one, and this was like one that just, it flooded the comments. So thank you for that, and here it is. And this one was another one very popular. Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer in What Lies Beneath. And what they say about it is it does for bathtubs what Psycho did for showers. And I believe that too. And this is another supernatural thriller starring Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. They are a seemingly happy married couple who uncover a terrible secret. A secret so disturbing that it threatens to destroy them. And kind of what it is they're married, and Michael Douglas is Harrison Ford. I'm thinking of the Lion movie. Harrison Ford is very involved in his career, and he's busy, and Michelle Pfeiffer is kind of feeling lonely, and she starts to kind of have experiences in the house, and they kind of start to blame it on her emotional state without getting into too much. So it becomes a movie of, is this real or is this in her mind? And is she really experiencing these supernatural things, or is she kind of losing it? Is she going a little bonkers? But really good movie, and I enjoy it, and it's another one. Now that it's off the shelf, I'm going to give it another look. But yeah, this was another one that you guys, so many comments for this one. So What Lies Beneath is another one that was highly requested. And now this one surprised me that it showed up as often as it did, because I didn't think too many people actually heard of this one, let alone watched it. But we have a good horror base here, so it shouldn't really surprise me. But this one was definitely, as someone else said in the comments, way ahead of its time. It's from 1997. It's Dee Snider's Strangeland. And Dee Snider plays a character who goes by the name of Captain Howdy, who basically stalks teenagers through the internet. Now, this was a time when the internet wasn't, we weren't carrying smartphones around. The internet was a relatively new thing, and there was always this fear of who you were going to meet and strangers online, and this film really preys upon that. But it was a little ahead of its time, which is why I think it wasn't as well received as it probably would be now. So it would really benefit from the Blu-ray release, because it would bring more attention to the topic of predators online. But he's into body modifications and torture and all kinds of things. As you can see from the cover, I mean, just look at the cover. And that gives you an idea of what this Captain Howdy guy is all about. But this is I remember this really, really creeping me out. But really good movie. And again, just ahead of its time. So definitely would benefit from a Blu-ray release. So those were your picks, and I thank you for them. I thank you for your comments and your input. And like I said, keep them coming in the bottom, because in the comments, because we'll keep doing this. Now, these are my picks, and my first one is, this is a film I can't believe this has not gotten a Blu-ray release. Let's put it this way. The DVD is going for $50 on Amazon when I last checked. It was like $49.98, and no Blu-ray in sight. It's called The Wind That Shakes the Barley. And this gets high praise all around, gets great scores online, critics and viewers. I mean, people universally love this film. And it's a film that's about two brothers, and it has to do with the Irish Independence War against Great Britain. They're trying to get away from Great Britain and be an independent country. And we have two brothers, one who is involved in this guerrilla-type warfare, and another one who wants to go off to medical school. But as he's getting ready to go to medical school, he sees the atrocities that are being committed against his countrymen and decides to go back and fight side by side with his brother. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I think it's one that you should watch for yourselves. It is so, so good. And as a matter of fact, Warner Archives just released a film with Liam Neeson called Michael Collins, which is about the similar subject, but I think this one is so much better, and it is so, so deserving of a Blu-ray release. So, I mean, you can give Michael Collins a look, but this one is just so much, it's just really heavy-hitting and really good stuff. So, The Wind That Shakes the Barley would be my first choice. Now, this next one is a Sidney Lumet film, and I'm going to start doing some live streams, and I've been really watching a lot of Sidney Lumet's films, and I have a friend in mind to come on. I want to invite some of my YouTube friends on to discuss movies, and I have one friend in mind who I want to see if he'd like to talk about Sidney Lumet films, because he's a huge Sidney Lumet fan, and he is one of the reasons that I have been doing a deep dive into Sidney Lumet's filmography. But one of the ones that I recently watched is this one, Prince of the City, starring Treat Williams. And this is so good. It's 167 minutes is the runtime. So they had to break it up over 2 DVDs. It's like I think the second DVD is only like 50 something minutes, but they couldn't get it all on one DVD. But this is about New York City cops. I don't know when it's supposed to take place. Not really sure, but it felt like a 90s type of thing. But takes place in New York City, and it's the narcotics division of the New York City Police Department. And the feds come in and they want to do an investigation, and they're trying to take Treat Williams and turn him against the people he works with, the guys, his friends, his partners, people that he has spent his career working with. And he is put in a really tough position of what to do. He thinks that maybe he can give them the information that they want without incriminating any of his friends or anything like that. And just a really, really great film, very gritty film, very hard look, and very authentic feeling look at what it is to be in a narcotics division on the streets of New York City during this time period, but really, really good stuff. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's definitely worth a look, even if you break it up into, break it up into 2 parts, because it is a long watch, long run time, but well worth a look. So Prince of the City badly needs a Blu-ray release. And this next one, this is such a dramatic film, and it's not going to be for everybody, but I think it's so good. It's a little slow. It's a bit of a slow burn, but there is so much emotion and so much drama in it. You can't help but get sucked into the story. It stars Jennifer Connelly and Ben Kingsley, who I just love Ben Kingsley. It is The House of Sand and Fog. And this centers around a house. Jennifer Connelly owns the house. She is wrongly evicted from her home, and they auction the home off, and Ben Kingsley and his family, he plays an Iranian gentleman, and he and his family, he buys the house for his family to move into. And she is wild because she's like, wait a minute, this is my home. You can't just move in and take over my home. And he believes that he rightly bought the home and he's not leaving. So this struggle ensues, and what a dramatic, emotional movie. And I don't want to give too much away because this is one that you just really have to sit and watch, but so good. I really like this one. I think it would really benefit from Blu-ray because the cinematography is gorgeous. It's like a beachfront type of place. It's a beach town. Really beautiful cinematography and really great story. So if you don't mind a little bit of a slower paced but really super emotional film, check out the House of Sand and Fog. And this next one, I've enjoyed this film for years. It stars Vincent D'Onofrio, Val Kilmer, and Peter Sarsgaard in The Salton Sea. Val Kilmer plays a man who has experienced a very devastating loss in his life. And he is now running with people who are junkies and criminals and just people that he wouldn't have been running around with before this event took place. So you're kind of feeling like, how did he end up here and why is he with these people that he obviously has nothing in common with? And that's all I really want to tell you about the story because, again, I don't want to give anything away because this is such a really good story. Great performance by Val Kilmer. And if you've seen this, you know that Vincent D'Onofrio plays a character called Pooh Bear, who I will never, ever forget. It's just such a really good character. And Vincent D'Onofrio, he just hits it out of the park with it. But if you haven't seen The Salton Sea, highly recommend it, and I really, really believe it deserves a Blu-ray release. It's a good one. And now this is for my man Luke Perry, and I don't know how popular this film is, but I enjoy it. I like rodeo things. I like films about rodeo. I have been to bull riding contests and things like that, and I really enjoy it. And this one stars Luke Perry, Stephen Baldwin, and Cynthia Geary, and it is called 8 Seconds. And this is it is the true life story of rodeo legend Lane Frost, played by Luke Perry. And I just think this is a great film. I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, or I don't really have any guilty pleasures. I agree with my friend Cinema Dave when he says all films are worthy of a watch, and I think this is great. And we lost Luke Perry give the guy a Blu-ray release. Come on, let's give one up for Luke Perry. But yeah, 8 Seconds it's such a good film, and it's a lot of action and a lot of heart, and you know, it's for Lane Frost. He was a great rodeo guy, and you know, really honors him well, and it shows his story, but really, really good stuff, and it's got a lot of heart. And then one more that I decided to grab. This one stars Joaquin Phoenix, Ed Harris, Scott Glenn, and Anna Paquin. Talk about a stacked cast. And again, Ebert and Roper give it 2 thumbs up. It is called Buffalo Soldiers. Joaquin Phoenix plays a soldier. Where is he at? It says that it's a dark comedy on par with Pulp Fiction. Is it as good as Pulp Fiction? I don't know. But anyway, he's a U.S. soldier, and he finds, Joaquin Phoenix finds that he has a little bit too much time on his hands, so he starts to get into some illegal activities. And I just think that this is a lot of fun. I haven't seen it in a little bit, so I have to give it a rewatch, but what I remember of, I've seen it many times, and I've really enjoyed it, but I need to give it another look. But he gets involved with some people and some things that maybe are not so legal to do because he has a little too much time on his hands. But I know that there was some conflict about this. People said it was an un-American portrayal of him. I don't think that's true. And then I've heard other people write, I've seen other people write reviews that said what they show in this is pretty accurate for what happens when you just have way too much time on your hands and you're stuck in a place that you don't want to be. So definitely give Buffalo Soldiers a look, and let's hope that it gets a Blu-ray release because, come on, look at this cast, and it's a great story. It's a lot of fun. So those are my picks for today, and let me know down in the comments what your picks are. So that's what we have for our round 2 of movies that need a Blu-ray release. And I have a lot of things coming up. I have boxes and boxes of stuff that I have to go over. So I'm probably going to just sit here and batch record some things so that I can get things up faster than, you know, every other week or every week. And I want to thank you guys for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it for you. And I'm going to go outside and play with my dogs, and I'm going to call it a day. So for now, that's a wrap.